Abortion refers to the termination of pregnancy before the fetus is viable. In the medical sense, this term and the term miscarriage both refer to the termination of pregnancy before the fetus is capable of survival outside the uterus. The term abortion is more commonly used as a synonym for induced abortion, the deliberate interruption of pregnancy, as opposed to miscarriage, which connotes a spontaneous or natural loss of the fetus. Because of this distinction made by the average layperson, care should be exercised in the use of the word abortion when speaking of spontaneous loss of the fetus. There are many types of abortion. In the first place, the spontaneous abortion, which refers to the loss of the gestation before the 26th week. This is when the fetus is not ready yet to survive out of the maternal uterus. The 8% and the 15% of pregnant women suffer this. However, some of these types of abortion are not detected, so it is very difficult to value. Most of the spontaneous abortion, known and unknown, take place during the first 12 weeks of the pregnancy, and in many cases, they do not require any medical surgery intervention. Third place, we have induced abortion, which defines by the World Health Organization, the OMS, as a result of a marvelous carried out deliberately with the intention of terminating pregnancy. The maneuvers can be performed by the pregnant itself or by other person on behalf of this. From the first laws, early last century, induced abortion has been decriminalized, being in many countries of the first, second, and third world, and this has led to drastic decline in maternity, morbidity, and mortality in all of the countries that have developed this law. In the third place, we have legal abortion. Legal induced abortion is considered when it is performed in a country where it is legally acceptable and there has been an approved law for it. In Spain, for example, it was only considered a legal abortion when performed with the consent of the woman in an accredited center for it and under one of the three assumptions of the law: when there is danger to death or life of the pregnant woman because of rape or fetal malformations. Nevertheless, this law was changed by the left party in the legislature of Zapatero, making abortion legal for all cases. You didn't even need to be 18 years old or have the consent of your parents. Basically, the free choice of woman was acceptable. Finally, we have illegal abortion. Illegal or clandestine abortion is considered when performed against the laws of the country where it is practiced. When abortion is prohibited by law, the circumstances cause many women to seek midwives or doctors who lend themselves to collaborate. But abortion practiced in these circumstances is dangerous and maintains some statistic of maternal mortality and morbidity, infinitely superior to those of legal abortion. These kinds of abortion is generally practiced in the worst hygienic conditions and with little recourse urgently to a hospital. It is important that, before proceeding with the decision, you value the circumstances that you face.
The side effects of an induced abortion, medically speaking, are multiple. The main one, I would say, is always the one facing a future pregnancy. When we practice an abortion, we use a chirurgical instrument called a curette, which scrapes the uterine walls, creating inflammation and wounding. This wounding heals into fibrotic tissue, which in the future difficults the implantation of a new baby. For this reason, many women have to face the ironic situation of having aborted a perfectly healthy baby and in the future not being able to conceive another one. This is because the uterus is no longer ideal. Also, not exactly as a side effect, we have the obvious complications a procedure like an abortion can have. If the pregnancy is very short, the woman is given a pill, such as methotrexate or any other pharmaceutical complex, which what it does is stop the cell replication in the baby, causing therefore its death. But if the pregnancy is far along enough, the procedure is chirurgical, having the woman to go through general anesthesia with its own risks. The procedure includes introducing the curette through the cervix in order to get to the uterine cavity, which can leave the cervix dilated, favoring future natural abortions as well as obstetrical complications on future pregnancies, such as hemorrhage or prematurity. Therefore, when we are advising a woman to have an abortion, or when a woman comes to us wanting an abortion, it's very important for us to explain all of these things and for the woman to have a complete information in order to face a decision as important as this one.
Abortion can emotionally affect each woman differently. Some of them might experience a sense of relief, but others might suffer from a trauma. So the reasons for relief can also vary a lot from woman to woman. But it is actually true that emotional and psychological effects are much more common than the physical ones. So there's some women can have side effects such as mild regret, but then there's other women who have severe complications such as depression. So it is important to discuss all these possible risks with a professional, such as a counselor or a psychologist, who is able to guide you through your decision of having an abortion and therefore prevent you from having all these serious side effects. There has been shown that some women, when they go out in their daily routines, can see the child, and others might experience nightmares where they think they've also seen their child. So it is very important to avoid all this. Also, there is one important factor which is related to vulnerability of negative and emotional and psychological effects that have to do with the belief of the baby. So those women who believe that the baby inside you is still not a human being have much less psychological effects than those women who believe that the baby inside them is actually a human being. So according to all of the emotional and psychological risks of having an abortion, there are regret or anger. Some women might experience guilt, shame, also loss of self-confidence, insomnia or nightmares. Some of them experience relationship issues. And then there's those women who have depression, which can lead to suicidal thoughts, and also anxiety, which can also lead to eating disorders. So these effects, any woman can have them. And it can also depend a lot in maybe the religious beliefs or what the previous women think of the baby. But in any case, it is very important to prevent all this suffering. So the best help a person that wants to decide about having an abortion can get is to talk to a psychologist, also get support from friends and family, avoid pressure, and evaluate the circumstances and avoid people who put you a lot of pressure. But I would say that the most important thing is to talk to a professional.
In 1973, the First Presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints issued the following statement regarding abortion, which is still valid today. The Church opposes abortion and counsels its members not to undergo an abortion or to carry it out, except in rare circumstances in which, according to competent medical opinion, the life or health of the mother is seriously in danger or the pregnancy is the result of rape and produces serious emotional trauma to the mother. Still, abortion must only be considered after the persons responsible have consulted with the authorities of the preceding priesthood and received divine confirmation through prayer. Here is the opinion of José María, parish priest in the Church Anunciación de Nuestra Señora in Pozuelo. He's going to explain the Catholic Church's position about abortion.
Esta mañana he sentido como un atraco. Una antigua alumna, Emma, ha venido a preguntarme qué opinaba, qué dice la doctrina de la Iglesia sobre el tema del aborto. Es un tema difícil porque hay que ser muy valientes para defenderlo en estos momentos. Y la Iglesia siempre ha sido valiente. Voy a sintetizar en 3 o 4 puntos lo que dice la Iglesia. Lo hago con prudencia porque me puedo dejar alguno porque hay muy poco tiempo para explicarlo. Toda la vida es sagrada, desde la concepción hasta el momento de la muerte. Por eso todo ataque directo a la vida es un pecado contra el 5.º mandamiento, es un ataque contra la vida. No se puede justificar la muerte de ningún inocente. Nunca se puede castigar al inocente, es decir, al no nacido. Yo aquí, en plan positivo, me preguntaría, ¿qué estoy haciendo para defender la vida? En segundo lugar, ¿qué estoy haciendo para apoyar a las madres con problemas? Y en tercer lugar, ¿cómo estoy ayudando a los enfermos? Por último, decir que la Iglesia mira con mucha alegría todos los avances que va haciendo la medicina para sacar adelante a los niños prematuros. Nada más.
Con respecto al tema del aborto, creo que es un tema muy delicado. Yo personalmente no estoy de acuerdo. Creo que nadie tiene el derecho de matar a otra persona y menos a un ser indefenso. Sí que es cierto que hay circunstancias en la vida que pueden intentar justificar el aborto, pero lo que es cierto es que si alguno de mis padres hubiera decidido tomar esas decisiones, yo no estaría aquí.
Also, most people who are against abortion will never even become pregnant. I mean, why has a man the right to decide about laws that ban a woman from voting, having a child, owning property, or showing skin in public?
I think that abortion is only accepted in some cases where the mother may suffer or have some chances of not surviving. I don't agree with the fact that anybody who wants can have an abortion. Here in Spain, as you don't even need to be 18 years old. This is a very serious act, and a young girl of 16 years of age is not prepared for the psychological effects women have after an abortion. The society has to change this and become more aware of the importance of this act.
Well, I think the abortion is a bad thing because you kill a person's life. Maybe it's not with all things, but it's still life.
So I believe that women should be allowed to abort in very specific situations, such as like if they're being raped, they should have the choice to do that.
I'm against abortion because since the 25th day the heart starts beating, and I think it's bad to take away a life from a human being that cannot defend himself.
I support abortion only in extreme cases, for example when the mother is going to die or in case of rape.
Si se es adulto para tener relaciones sexuales, se tiene que ser adulto para las consecuencias que tiene el tenerlas.
No one can tell us what to do with our body because it is ours and no one else. If I want to abort because I think I'm not qualified to be a mother and I don't want to have a child, I have not. Having a child is a very important decision. Obviously, if I abort, I will respect and even admire all those brave women who have been able to make the decision to have a child.
In abortion is that I think is bad in the most of the aspects, because I think that if you get a baby and you abort, you can get out the life of a person, and if you don't want that baby, you can give to a person that will want it.
Cuando iba a cumplir 30 años, quedé embarazada del cuarto hijo, embarazada de Ronaldo. No quería, tuve un gran disgusto. Fui al médico para tratar de abortar al bebé. Entonces el médico me dijo que no, porque yo era joven. Y lo que el médico respondió es que este hijo me iba a dar mucha alegría. Cuando el médico vio a Cristiano, le vio los pies a Ronaldo y dijo: este niño va a ser jugador.
Dolores, usted es una mujer muy religiosa.
Sí, es verdad.
¿Cómo concilió esta religiosidad y la posibilidad de un aborto cuando está prohibido por la Iglesia?
Lo hice por mi desesperación, porque me arrepentí después. Le pedí perdón a Dios.
Hace 4 años tuve una relación con un hombre casado y quedé embarazada. Él no quiso aceptar que el embarazo era suyo, ni saber más de mí. No quería perder el trabajo en la casa de familia en la que sigo trabajando. Tuve que tomar la decisión más valiente de mi vida. A las 8 semanas interrumpí el embarazo.
I'm going to tell you something you might not know. Many children, more than you might think, actually survive failed abortions and are born alive. I know because I'm one of them. I was aborted and my body discarded like I didn't exist, but a nurse heard me crying and cared enough to save my life.
So I found out on May 19th of 2015, this year, at 19 years old, that I was pregnant. I also took this time to call my boyfriend and let him know that I had taken a test and it was positive and that I was going to the doctors to find out for sure. And the very first thing he said before he asked if I was okay or anything, you know, he said, abortion, right?
I was in the relationship. I got pregnant, first time, and I didn't have the support, and so I was so scared, and I didn't know what to do, and chose to not have it. One of the biggest mistakes. I'm 20. My career hadn't even really started, you know, so how do I do all that?
Yeah.
How can I be a mommy? It messed me up. I don't know, it broke my spirit. I cried almost every day for almost 9 years.
Del aborto. Porque una vez conocí una historia de una mujer de 21 años que fue violada por un familiar cercano y este familiar cercano quiso hacerle un aborto a la niña. Se consiguieron un paramédico, se consiguieron la hora, todo para hacer el aborto. Al final el paramédico no lo pudo hacer, se corrió, la cosa es que no se hizo el aborto. Y la guagua nació, nació, creció, se desarrolló normalmente. Ese niño, esta historia que te cuento, sucedió hace 41 años, en Lota. Ese niño ahora es un hombre. Ese hombre está contigo en esta hora.
I was dating this guy for 2 months, not very long, and he was in the Army, and when he went away, because he was stationed in Fort Benning, I found out that I was pregnant. I felt a lot of pressure from him. From the moment that I told him, he was just kind of hateful, to say the least, towards me. He told me he was going to push me down the stairs, that he hated me. Oh, well, he would hate me if I kept the baby, but he didn't hate me. He was very rude. He basically made it pretty apparent that he wasn't going to be there at all. And I did it, and the whole experience was very traumatic. I felt like it was the best thing to do for me, but I feel differently now. I honestly feel like it was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I don't feel like it was the baby's fault at all.
Si está mal, porque lo normal es que esté mal. Si en algún momento se da cuenta de lo que ha hecho, en el momento en que se dé cuenta que los niños siempre perdonan y que su hijo, que está ahí, que le ha perdonado ya, y eso, pues que se perdone ella y siga adelante. Y eso, que los niños siempre perdonan.
I found myself dreaming in silver and gold, like a scene from a movie that every broken heart knows. We were walking on moonlight and you pulled me close. Split second and you disappeared, and I was all alone. I woke up in tears with you by my side, a breath of relief, and I realized no, we're not promised tomorrow. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye. Wherever I stand
ver a tu hijo, o sea, es increíble. O sea, es que no cambias nada, pero ni una noche de salir, ni un trabajo mejor, ni nada. Tener una hija es la suerte más grande del mundo, o sea, que es que no es una complicación, es que es un regalo. Una vida con una hija no es peor para nada, o sea, es diferente, pero muchísimo mejor. O sea, yo, para empezar, ya sé que no voy a estar sola nunca. Yo veo a la Lucía y no se va al colegio, hace sus amigas, o sea, tiene unos abuelos que le adoran. O sea, mi vida es esta y me encanta, o sea, no la cambiaría por ninguna. De lo que más orgullosa estoy en toda mi vida es de ella, o sea, la veo y es como, ya me puedo morir tranquila.
Let's take our time to say what we want, use what we got before it's all gone.